With less than 6 months until Election Day, it's a good time for taking stock of the second biggest campaign story of the year, the fight for control of the Senate. Since last year, Republicans have been in charge with 54 of the 100 seats. To be assured of taking the place back, Democrats must take away at least 5 of those seats in November. They could also gain the majority with just 4 pickups if the country elects a Democratic vice president who could break the 50-50 deadlock. Right now, the Democrats are looking more and more likely to get what they're going for. They are probably going to flip enough seats to reclaim the Senate majority. That's in part because of the polarizing campaign of Donald Trump at the top of the Republican ticket, and partly because of maps and mathematics that have favored the Democrats from the start. Let's take a look. Only a third of the seats get contested in each election year. So there are 34 Democrats and 2 of their allied independents, including Bernie Sanders, who are coming back next year no matter what. And the same is true for 30 Republicans. Then there are 8 contests in states so reliably blue that Democrats are totally safe bets to win, and also 14 Republican senators looking like locks for re-election. That gives each party 44 seats they can count on for now, leaving a battleground of just a dozen races. But when we start looking at this handy map here, we realize that in 10 of those states, it's the Democrats who have the targets of opportunity for takeovers. In other words, they've got to win just 5 of the competitive contests where they're on offense. The Republicans have only 2, and their shot at unseating Senator Michael Bennet in Colorado has been running into some serious trouble lately. Their best chance of turning a state red is Nevada. Minority Leader Harry Reid is retiring, and Congressman Joe Heck is creating a toss-up race against Catherine Cortez Masto, a former state attorney general hoping to become the first Hispanic woman ever to become a senator. The Democratic targets start with no fewer than 6 seats that Republicans are defending in states that Barack Obama carried in both of his presidential elections. In Illinois, Senator Mark Kirk has already fallen into underdog status against Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth. Just to the north, in Wisconsin, Senator Ron Johnson is starting to trail in the polls to former Senator Russ Feingold. In Ohio, Senator Rob Portman is defending against Ted Strickland, a former governor who's hoping at age 75 to become the oldest person to win a Senate seat. Next door in Pennsylvania, which has gone Democratic 6 presidential elections in a row, Senator Pat Toomey is hoping to fend off Katie McGinty, a former head of her state's environmental agency. Up in New Hampshire, Senator Kelly Ayotte is being challenged hard by the governor, Maggie Hassan. And in Florida, where Marco Rubio is giving up his seat, a down-to-the-wire contest is very likely, no matter how a pair of highly competitive primaries turn out at the end of August. Democrats also have reason to believe they can win as many as 4 other seats, especially if the Trump momentum stalls out or switches into reverse. In North Carolina, a true toss-up state, former state legislator Deborah Ross is taking on Senator Richard Burr. In Missouri, Secretary of State Jason Kander is making some inroads against Senator Roy Blunt. Indiana has an open seat, and Republican Congressman Todd Young can't rest easy against former Congressman Barron Hill. And in Arizona, an anti-Trump vote surge by Hispanics could help Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick take out Senator John McCain. That would mean an ironic career ending for someone who was the Republican presidential nominee himself only 8 years ago.